like a boss.
What's up, guys? This is Alex from mindfulattraction.org. Don't you hate when there's a girl that's interested in you? You did nothing to get her, but she's interested in you, but somehow you fuck it up. Those are the most annoying rejections in game. When you had it in your hands, but you let it fly away because of your neediness. That happens a lot. All right, and a lot of the times you'll act nice and smooth, but as soon as a girl shows she likes you, you immediately fuck it up. You know, because you have this sense of, oh my gosh, she likes me. Finally, somebody that likes me, and so that's the problem. That's called incongruence. So in this video, we're going to use Hank Moody once again to break down how he's able to have that, how he's able to maintain that aura of attraction despite the woman showing interest. Because a lot of the guys return to their old selves once the girl shows interest. Very similar to when guys get into game, they get into a relationship, and suddenly because they get into a relationship, they revert back to their unattractive selves. So in this video, I'm going to show you the qualities and the characteristics that you have to develop and that you can develop if you do it in a systematic way that will enable you to not only attract women but keep them in your lives. Now, for those who don't know what I do, I'm a dating coach who specifically focuses on inner game, and I use inner game to help guys develop the natural characteristics and behavior and self-communication that enables you to actually act attractively despite the kind of person that you are. And so I teach men through one-on-one boot camps and through Skype sessions. And I'm not the type who does a whole bunch of boot camps. I do one-on-one because I hate doing a whole bunch of boot camps with like 12 guys. It's counterproductive, all right? And if you guys are interested in that, just click on the link. Click on this link you're gonna see above, and it will take you there. But let's start with the video breakdown. Ready? Let's get started. She's bad.
Hey.
She's bad.
Yikes.
Do you know anything about wine?
Wine is fine, but whiskey is quicker.
Suicide is slow with liquor. Sabbath.
Close. Ozzy Solo.
So first things first. She initially showed interest. Any other guy, what would you have done? You would have raised your voice. You know, you would have thought of what to say. You would have thought something interesting to say. Heck, you would have maybe even introduced yourself and walked up to her. You see? So he's doing this unconsciously. Keep that in mind. This is more of a natural reaction. And this is the place where any game will take you there, because out of game tactics, they'll teach you the tactics, you know, the techniques. But this is more of an unconscious reaction. This is more autopilot. So in a game helps you have that autopilot so that you're naturally attractive in all situations. And what he's doing is that in order to get to this level, which is to say being outcome independent, you have to change the way you perceive women and the way you perceive sex. Because in our minds, women are in a pedestal. You know, the superficial social standard says that women are the highest peak of the highest pinnacle of success. And so as a result, we see women in this exaggerated sense, in exaggerated aura, which doesn't even represent reality, because most of those girls are not as cool as we imagine them to be. So what Hank Moody does, if you notice, he's not even interested. He's just you know, it's no big deal for him. The reason why is because of abundance. Depending on the life situation that you're in, like even the Stanley Milgram experiment, no, the Stanford prison experiment, it showed that no matter who you are, if you're placed in a position of power, a lot of people will their behaviors, their mentality, their values will automatically change simply because of where they are and the roles that they take up. So if you want to be able to act like this and have this natural attractive aura to yourself, you have to change the perception. So how do you do this? There's a whole bunch of techniques. What I like to do is, when I talk to women, I like to systematically and intentionally imagine as though I'm talking to a child. I try to see the child in them. I try to feel as though I'm talking to a child. All right. And so what happens is that the more you do that, the more you talk to girls, and the more you imagine as though you're talking to a child, your brain, how it naturally adapts to things, will naturally associate those how can I say this, those outcome independent vibe that you have with children. Because if you notice, when you hang out with children, you're more relaxed, you're more playful. So when you intentionally see girls like that, you will naturally rewire and recondition your brain to see them as though they're just anybody else. Suddenly you take them off the pedestal and you're able to behave like you naturally behave, like a normal person. So if you see a woman and she shows attraction, you're not gonna be like, finally my happiness. No, you can be like, hey, what's up? You know, like just natural. But the thing is, you have to change the way you see them. No matter the tactics, if you don't change your perception of women, your behavior will not change. It just won't. So if you're using women as your crutch to be happy, oh, I need a girl to give me happiness, so because I feel so depressed, so empty, you're gonna naturally act needy. It's kind of like if you feel sad and suddenly your girlfriend tells you she's seeing you, how are you gonna react? Oh, my girlfriend's coming. Why? Because you're gonna feel happy when she gets there. So the reason why when you see a woman and she shows attraction, you act happy and you act needy is because you needed that. But in this case, you have to get to the point where you don't need that, and that all comes from a change of the way you perceive the world. All right, so let's keep watching this.
But nice try.
Thanks. This stuff will kill
You see,
ya.
walking, he's doing this old school. Now, mind you, he's not thinking about it naturally. This is not something he's thinking about. He's just doing it. The reason why is because most people wouldn't do this because she's hot. She's bad as fuck. She's bad as fuck. Most guys wouldn't do this because they won't want to lose her. Me ask you this, what kind of mentality do you think you have to have in order to actually turn away from her, even though she's showing interest? You have to have the mentality of, I have other girls around me. This is no big deal. This is normal, you see? And so what happens when this becomes normal, and I'm going to tell you the truth. When you get good at game, and everyone who's good at game will tell you this, it gets boring. It gets boring. It really does get boring. And so the reason why, so when he talks to the girl, he doesn't see her as this exaggerated aura that most guys have. It's just normal. So this enables you to be able to say, you know what, I'll let it go. I got other things to worry about. So this also ties into having a purpose. So when you're focusing on your life and having women more on the peripheral rather than on the center, initially, when you're pretty good at game, because when you're mastering game, you have to really focusing on them. But generally speaking, when you're living your life, women have to be in the peripheral, or else when you make them your center, you're going to react. And so you're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to actually turn away naturally without even thinking. And where I want you to get to the point is, get to the point where this is more of an unconscious thing, to the degree that you say to yourself, well, how am I doing this? And you naturally get to that place only through an application of inner game. I'm telling you, the more you use outer game, the more robotic you become. But you have to implement outer and inner game in order to have that synergistic effect that will naturally increase your game at a faster rate. But let's keep watching this.
Life will kill you. It's heavy. It'll make sense.
Taking it in.
Let it sink in.
So look, he walked away, and so look at her. She's like, whoa, he walked away. Most guys wouldn't walk away. And even the way he's talking, he's like, okay, all right, okay. So think about it. What's he really saying? He may or may not be communicating that, but he's saying this is no big deal for me. And this is out of the norm for her, because most girls, this is not normal. Most guys would jump into that. I would have jumped into that. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest. My style is a little bit different, but this is how it's usually done. And so you have to just think about what kind of mentality does he have that enables him to naturally walk away without it being a big deal. Well, most guys will walk away and say, God damn, I missed this chance. So now you see how your mentality is. This is not a chance for him. This is just, it's no big deal. You have to have an abundance mentality for this. This is not something that you just would naturally do with intentionally. You have to change your emotional circuitry, because your emotional circuitry is gonna sabotage you. But let's keep watching this. Even notices, like, even when he gives her the money, it's no big deal. This is not like he even gave it like he's giving stripper money.
No.
But it's no big deal to him. He's not doing it like, here girl. Here girl. No, he's like, yeah, just fuck it. Like,
You're sweet.
it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Cute.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're welcome. What? It's a damsel in distress. I love all women. I love you. I'll make a run at you, Krusty. I will.
And she's waiting for him. And so he would have lost her if he would have reacted more. So what can you do to show this, to behave like this? One, make it a conscious effort and intentionally for the next month. When you're talking to a girl, predicate success based on how you perceive her. Okay, so when you're talking to a girl, make sure you see the child in them. Make sure you feel as though you're talking to a child, because that's going to change your behavior. The other thing, meditate. This will make you happier and will remove a lot of neediness. All right. The other thing is, anytime you feel neediness could come from a place of wanting a stat, putting up a status on Facebook to get likes, texting a girl just to get some validation, seeking compliments, trying to feel better. Any form of trying to feel better through doing more approaches, through getting the number, any form of need, what I want you to do is to just observe it. Feel the need 100%, and notice how the emotion causes you to want to do certain things. Just observe the emotion, what the emotion tells you to do. Simply observe it. What's going to happen is that by simply doing that, you're able to step out of it and become the observer. It doesn't control you anymore. You see, this actually works. Another thing that you could do is practice being boring. Practice being boring with women. So if she's showing interest, be boring. Like just be like normal, like, okay, like, all right, that's cool. All right. Feel as though you're talking to someone who you're not attracted to. Even better, notice how you act with people who you're not attracted to. Notice how you act with people who you don't want to talk to. Notice how you act with your friends, and then compare it to how you act with women. Notice how you text your friends and notice how you text women, and you're gonna see a big difference. And the funny thing is that if you just text girls how you text your friends, you're gonna be a much better texter. And you know what the funny thing is? It's not going to require any technique. Like, seriously, it doesn't require any technique. The only thing that it requires is a change of perception. So this is how it's done. And this is how, I'm telling you, this is the best way to learn game, because it accelerates your ability to learn game. And so I taught this to clients, and especially the client that I'm teaching right now, and his results have literally skyrocketed. And it's not that I teach them a lot of techniques. That's to teach them the necessary techniques that produce the desired outcome. It's that simple. It's not that complicated. You see? So if you focus on any game and you focus on the emotions and the kind of perception and the mentality that naturally produces these kind of behaviors, your game will improve at a faster rate, rather than just focusing on surface level things. Anyways, this is Alex from mindfultraction.org. If you guys are interested in one-on-one boot camps or Skype sessions, which I do exclusively, and unfortunately there's a 2-month wait for that right now. It is what it is. Just go to mindfultraction.org. You're going to see the link above and click on it, and just send me an email so we could talk and have an interview and see if this is something that's for you. Because I only go with people who are 100% committed. This is not something that I want to work with just people who want to do one session. That means you're not really committed. If you're really committed, you're down to commit the time and effort for this. And that's the people who I want to work with. All right. Anyways, this is Alex from mindfultraction.org. Take care.